What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy and you're watching Paper Talk. We are back again, bright and early on a Thursday morning to go through the latest breaking news for the NS and see exactly what's making the headlines in the back pages of the most fraudulent publications available to man. We buy them so that you don't have to, although I haven't actually bought them today. We're up super early and the shop isn't open yet. So we've got the back pages from last night and we will be starting with this little Brazilian fraud here. Arsenal are investigating the reason behind Willian's decision to travel to Dubai during the international break, with the Brazilian midfielder now required to provide a negative coronavirus test before he returns to training. We need to see the same energy for Willian here, don't we really, Mr. Arteta? Because a few other players have been treated with questionable disdain. I mean, what is this? Is this a holiday camp? Is this what we are? Here he is pictured with Salt Bay Donny, and is potentially going to miss games. Now, someone else that's going to miss games as well is obviously Mohamed El Neni, who's tested positive for coronavirus. And now we have the news that Sead Kolasinac has tested positive for COVID-19 whilst on international duty, and is now the second player from the club to test positive after Egyptian midfielder Mohamed El Neni. So he could miss the Premier League game against Leeds and the Europa League tie in Norway against Molde on the 26th of November. According to the Telegraph, Willian will be unable to return to training until he provides a negative COVID-19 test, whilst Arsenal is still trying to establish the full facts regarding his decision to leave the country. Living off Arsenal and potentially putting other players at risk. He's not been involved for Brazil internationally, so I've actually seen a lot of people going to Dubai. How is Dubai open and everywhere else is shut? Back of the Guardian says that football clubs may be required to have neurologists on their medical staff, and this is to combat or confront the amount of concussion in the sport. The balls are really quite hard. Don't clip that. And when they're playing this header volleyball back and forth, you know, it is like getting boxed in the head by heavyweight. So the main picture here, of course, for Phil Foden, who put in a magnificent performance against a second-rate Icelandic side, a 4-0 victory. But Foden proving too hot to handle for Iceland. Down here, all change. Premier League begins move to reintroduce 5 substitutes, something that they've gone back and forth over. Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, and now Gareth Southgate have all been very vocal about it. Several speaking in favour, in fact, including some of the clubs and the managers outside of the Big Six, such as Ralph Hasenhüttl of Southampton, Steve Bruce of Newcastle, and West Ham's David Moyes, all backing the idea to introduce or reintroduce 5 substitutes. We have seen the fixture list piling up and players dropping like flies of late, especially with this international break and the amount of flying and whatnot that people have to do. It's just been non-stop, and I don't know how clubs especially are meant to improve their situation or work on stuff that they haven't been doing properly when all this is going on, especially when so many of them are having to quarantine after suspect activities, such as Willian. The main picture on the back of the Metro is Phil Foden. Again, Phil puts England's troubles on ice, striking twice to lead the way as Southgate's Young Lions round off tough year on a high. He has had a tough time of late, Foden, but he certainly seems to be coming off better than Greenwood did after the Icelandic issue that they had before. And it is kind of ironic that it's against Iceland that he has celebrated his first goal at Wembley last night. How bad were they, though? How easy was it to open them up? I'm not sure how much we can take from the game, but, you know, Gary Lineker saying heading in training should be abandoned altogether as part of the effort to tackle the problem of dementia in football and the neurodegenerative diseases that we were just talking about. And over here we have got second positive test rules out Salah and El Neni. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah and Arsenal midfielder Mohamed El Neni both testing positive for coronavirus for a second time and are definitely going to miss league matches this weekend. Adjust your fancy Premier League teams now. Up here we get confirmation from John Cross in the Daily Mirror that Mo is set to miss the Atalanta clash after his third positive test. Boris Johnson saying we hope to get crowds back as soon as possible. I'm not sure what exactly that means. It's a bit of an empty statement, but he has said that he wants crowds back in sporting venues as soon as possible. When he was quizzed during Prime Minister's Question Time yesterday, look at the shiny baldness of your fraudulent head. Angry Prem bosses step up, fight for 5 subs. Again, this is like the John Cross paper, or what? All 3 stories across the top here by John Cross. The kids are all right, it says down here. Declan Rice scoring, of course, with his, what was it, shoulder / arm, not really head, but fantastic to see everyone in such a good mood. Jack Grealish doing his stuff. England coasting to victory in their final game of 2020. Smiles all round. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on all of last night's games. Scotland missed out on promotion after losing to Israel. Confirmation that Wales finished top of the group with 5 wins from their 6. Fantastic performance. Beautiful scenes of glorious emotion with goals from Wilson, James and more. Italy qualifying top of the UEFA Nations League table, Group A1. Group A2 topped by Belgium. France coming top of that incredibly difficult looking group of death. Spain with that 6-0 thrashing of Germany really did change the face of that one. Austria finishing top there. The Czech Republic pipping Scotland on the final day as Scotland lose to Israel. Incredible. Look at this beautiful picture. Oh, sensational. Look at these top ballers. This is like the most elite picture at the club right now. This is the most fraudulent picture doing the rounds right now. I'm not sure. Look at what's going on here. I hope it isn't going to be a problem. He's only been here 2 minutes. You've only been here 2 minutes, lads. Egenro on Twitter saying, please be ruthless, which is the principle we are establishing recently. Show everyone the Arsenal way. And I think that's what I'd like to see. You're going to have to work your way back in. What's this? What's this? Rational thinking or just delusion? I doubt he went without club permission. Question is, why did he get permission? This is Christian Falk of Bilder, German publication, saying that Liverpool and Manchester United have kind of received a boost, I guess, over the possible signing of RB Leipzig's 22-year-old French defender Deo Upamecano, as a decision over his future is going to be made in January. A release clause of 45 million euros, and he is apparently currently too expensive for Bayern Munich. Sensational scenes. I'm not sure what you think of that. Still, very talented and bound to be on the move soon, as is apparently Kepa Arrizabalaga. The 26-year-old apparently going to go out on loan and take a pay cut to help revive his career, and his agent has been speaking out. He hasn't started for Chelsea since October the 17th, and they've been doing quite well without him, haven't they? So he is apparently willing to accept a loan and a reduction to his £150,000 a week wages to try and kickstart his career, and I guess he's going to need to do that if he's going to have any hope of getting back into the Spanish setup to make that squad for Euro 2020. Another bit of news for you from Atleti, who say our player Lucas Torreira has tested positive for COVID in the test carried out today after returning from his commitments for Uruguay. No symptoms, but he is isolated and serving quarantine at home. The Bell is back with more transfer news, I guess reconfirming what Fabrizio Romano said last week about Dominic Szoboszlai. It does look like the Hungarians' camp have opened communication channels with Arsenal recently, and talks in their initial stages, nothing decided yet, but that is potentially very exciting news. Barcelona's Lionel Messi has put Manchester City on alert before the January transfer window, saying he is tired of always being the problem at the Nou Camp. This is a story from The Express, saying that he's reacted strongly to media questions after landing back in Barcelona on Wednesday, and continues to be linked with a move away, with his contract set to expire at the end of the season. And of course, Manchester City are going to be once again rumoured to bringing in the 33-year-old ahead of the January transfer window. Sensational scenes of glorious emotion that would be if we could welcome the greatest of all time, or one of them, to the Premier League. Who is your greatest of all time, and is it Lionel Messi? Arsenal look like they've agreed to sign Omar Rekik from Hertha Berlin. The 18-year-old was initially expected to sign on deadline day, and for some reason the deal couldn't be completed in time, with William Saliba's loan move to Saint Etienne also breaking down for similar reasons. He is Dutch-born, a senior Tunisian international, and has of course played for the likes of Feyenoord, Manchester City, PSV and Marseille at youth level. Arsenal apparently keen on the idea of loaning him back to the Bundesliga side Hertha Berlin, and they have received offers already from clubs across Europe. 23,000 followers. You will get more if you play for the Ars. Play for the Ars. Join the social media club. I mean, incredible. Should we have a look and see what the Arsenal boys have been up to? Arsenal, are we advertising Nerf guns and all that? Yes, of course we are. Nerfing away the problems. Petr Cech tribute act. Eric Garcia's move to Barcelona could be in the mud, with Manchester City unwilling to reduce their valuation of 20 million euros. It says in Marca that they now look unlikely to sign the Manchester City starlet. To see, look at the state of that kit. Look at the state of that kit. Like you're some kind of fucking, what is this? Shatterglass. What's it called? Unbreakable. Brittle bone disease. That's your club right now. You just touch them and they just, the glass shatters. You know?